Hi Sagittarius, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Sagittarius, this is your love reading starting today on the 28th of December, and I've set the time frame to about late December 2020 to late January of 2021. Crazy. And so we're going to start with this deck, this beautiful mystical wisdom deck, to see get your overall feel, your overall energy, and then we're going to go deeper and clarify everything. If you're interested in the decks that I'm using, I've listed them down below in the description box. So Sagittarius, we have the most gorgeous skift. As you say in Swedish, skift, but you say shift in English. You have the most gorgeous skift in the energy. One that started on the 21st of December, and so we're probably going to get a bit of the 21st energy in here on top of your love story. But whatever you need to hear right now, you're going to hear right now. Scorpio, for instance, I did Scorpio yesterday, and it was like such a clear and clean, definitely in the extended at least, clear and clean love story coming out there for them. And for some other signs, it has been more towards the spiritual journey. Takes a little bit to get the card out here. If they want something very specific for you, there you go. Sensitivity. Nope. Sensuality. So maybe you're a bit sensitive. Sensuality. Such a beautiful card. The overall thing with this card is that it's very divine feminine. It's all about expressing who you are, expressing yourself. You have a cup there with love that is overflowing, clearly overflowing with like rainbow energy. So very much in balance, it feels like. If we can. Hello, there you go. We have a butterfly around your neck. So the butterfly there speaks about that. So you've gone through some major transformation the past probably couple of years. And also we have the little birdie there that comes in, the whispers about stuff, messages coming in. So pay attention to whatever you feel, hear, see right now. There's something with this flower here that really stands out. It sort of looks like a megaphone. Like these other three flowers are resting, but one is like really standing out. It's like you're taking up the megaphone to your mouth and going like, talking really loudly. So either there's a message loudly coming out from you or a message loudly with a bird coming in. So probably both ways. Whatever you're sending out very clearly now is now very clearly coming back. We also seem to have some little peekaboo here happening. There is a person in the back there lifting the veil. And so there might be a person that comes in here lifting the veil and starting to visit. It can be visits in your dreams. It can be visits in your mind. Like just overall, you've started to think more about wanting to be in a relationship. If you're already in a committed relationship, it feels like it might have been a little bit of a glitch. It has been a little bit of a separation between you guys, and it's like you're slowly coming together again. We're gonna find out all about this, what's going on here for you Sagittarius. So moving on to the next deck here to get the basic energy for the upcoming month, please. Basic energy for Sagittarius love story. There you go. Share the love. Don't keep the people to yourself. You should share them. That was a joke. Not that funny. Daydreams and decisions. Rebuild, number 16. And share the love, number 3. So we're starting here with the daydreams and decisions. Number 7. So number 7 is all about a completion. There's something that you dreamt about, something that you have been or are in the midst of deciding, something you want to come to fruition. And whether this is, it doesn't really clearly indicate that this is love just yet. So we're gonna clarify this card and see what this is all about. But 7 in itself is like you put together the beautiful ingredients that you know that you want in your life. You made the most beautiful cake. and then you put it in the oven and you've been waiting for a bit. You maybe are just waiting as we speak. Okay, several things coming through here, because I got this card yesterday, and perhaps it could have been for Libra, it could have been for Scorpio. So whether you have a placement or some sort of connection there with either Libra or Scorpio, here, like, they had the same symbol, like doing I can't do that, doing this, the little love heart with your hands. It's like she's doing the love heart with her hands. And in the other card that I got for either Scorpio or Libra, it was like we had a little heart sitting in between there. So it's like you're doing the love heart. It's like you're wishing for the love. We're wishing for the love heart here, but the heart itself is still missing. So that indicates that we have love on its way. We have the veil has been lifted. There's love coming in. There's a reconnection. If you're already, I don't get too much a reconnection from somebody from the past as of yet, as of right now. This is more either new love if you're single, or like a rekindling, a reconnection in the already committed relationship, if that makes sense. So it feels like you've been dreaming about them, you've been daydreaming about them, and it's going to come into fruition. You're going to take the cake out of the oven, and it's time to enjoy it. So we're like borderline so close to having what you want. Clear pillars here surrounding you. So it looks a little bit like a backside of a book today. So maybe you gathered a lot of information, being on your own for a bit, or being in a separation from somebody for a bit and gathered more information. Maybe looking at, I'm drawn to these patterns today. So maybe even looking at patterns, like patterns within yourself, why you keep repeating the same things, or why certain things are happening in your life. You might have questioned that a tiny bit, and you keep daydreaming about what you want. I am drawn to the decisions here. It's not a typical tarot reading. I'm just intuitively reading the cards, and I'm being given information as I go. And today I'm very drawn to both of these, like daydreams and decisions. So there's something like down the line that you're going to have to decide. I see this as a windmill as well. So Ireland, Holland, I mean, we have a lot of windmills in Sweden, so it's tough to say like exactly where that is, but it's like more open landscape. It's more northern than anything, it feels like. So maybe there's a connection there somehow, some way. Free energy. Something with a free energy there. Oh, Sagittarius that I'm talking to. You who hears this, you who know, so I'm saying windmills, and I'm saying the north, and I'm saying open landscape, I'm saying free energy. The person that is directed to, or maybe even finding out certain patterns in certain things, you already know what I'm talking about. And for you who don't know what I'm talking about, I don't think that message is for you. Moving on, it's a green border, so it's all about healing, becoming whole in your heart. This is a tower moment, but it's a rebuilding. So I always see this as Julie Andrews. It's probably not, but she looks like Julie Andrews, like a little bit further away. So the hills, is it the hills are alive? The hills are alive. Is it the hills that is alive? Through the sound of music. I'm not too sure now. What is alive? I don't know what's alive. Julie Andrews seems to have some sort of effect here. I don't know. She speaks about purity for me. She's very pure. She might not be, but that's what I'm picturing. There's something about a tower moment that has already happened. So this is like a rebuild. We're rebuilding yourself. You're coming back into your alignment. We're finding a balance in your life. it struck hard. It was whatever has happened with you, it struck hard, okay? And we're rebuilding the whole thing again. We're going to find out what this is about. Share the love. This is like when, so we see all these silhouettes here. If you see those in the background here, it's like silhouettes of two people looking at each other. It's share the love, which is like, okay, so you have to give to receive. You have to equally, and I'm not talking about Sagittarius that you're not a helpful person and that you're not, that's sort of almost your shadow side. That's almost something like to the negative for you, that sometimes you have to watch it to not overgive. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you being like the good Samaritan or the good Mother Teresa, like just wanting, you know, we have this idea about Sagittarius just helps everybody or anything that moves really. But it's a difference between helping out and, you know, being, I don't know, invested in charities and all of that, and completely different to give of your, like the purest of pure hearts, I'm focusing on my solar plexus, but like your heart, and to receive that love back. So there's something about really, you really need to share your love. You really need to open your heart to receive that really open heart, open love back, okay? Number 3 there talks about creativity, passion, and joy. 16, we already had that with the Tower moment, is sudden shifts and sudden changes. So we're going to clarify this. So number 7, daydreams and decisions. What is that all about for Sagittarius, please? Okay, so it sort of clarifies all of it. It's like, okay, so we want these two a little bit more towards each other. The Tower moment thing, whatever bit you in the back, whatever sudden shift this was for you, Sagittarius, it's like there's something. It's so interesting because the Tower moment usually indicates that there's, and 16 definitely indicates that there's a sudden shift or a sudden change. So I'm getting so many different things here. I'm going to try to narrow it down to what I feel like is the most general thing. Something snuck up on you, but it wasn't like I don't think it was like an overnight thing. It's just something was slow. If this is a relationship, I feel like slowly over time you just knew that you could not stay in that relationship anymore. And when I get this, I'm get four autumn, and I get the 10 of winter. The 10 of winter talks about a completion. Like it's almost saying like look the other way and run, and never look back. Like this situation does not serve you anymore. It sounds really, really like dramatic. It sounds like the person that you're with or the situation that you're in is absolutely horrible. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm going to bring up the worst case scenario. I don't feel that, but I'm just, as an analogy, going to explain it to you. If there's somebody that was in a really abusive relationship, and maybe there was like even physical or really strongly mental abuse going on there, it's like, okay, and that one evening or one afternoon, it was like it was just too much. We have the Tower moment there, and so it just knocks you over, and it's like asking you to just get out the door and do not look back. That's the worst case scenario here. But I'm feeling, and maybe that is for one or two people, and then they were being sort of told to sort of not, we always have free will, you can always do what you want. But what the cards are saying, what the energy is saying here is that do not look back, do not second guess yourself, and do not give this a second chance, because just don't. It's basically what 10 of winter, and the rebuilding of yourself is going to take a little bit of time, and you've done nothing wrong, and just keep walking in the other direction. Just walk away from the situation and do not look back. If this is a work related situation, you do not fit in that corporation. You do not fit in, like, it's not your place. It's not where you're supposed to be. For some of you guys, I feel like there's like a sneaking up on you. It's like over time, you just felt more and more and more like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be in this situation. This relationship doesn't fit me anymore. You're starting to just have this little voice that's just telling you that it's time to move on. And then maybe it has been a little bit tough to just, because if it's somebody that you have had like a longer relationship with over years and years, or at least it feels like it's very, very committed, it can be really hard to let go because you're more in love with the momentum of it rather than the love, because the love or the information and the exploration and the growth between the two of you is no longer there. And so you're sort of hanging on to the momentum of it. Better said, you're hanging on to the memory of their relationship, to what you built. There's so many people that they're hanging on to a relationship because they built this life together. And there's beauty in that. It's so much beauty in that what you built together. But at the end of the day, it needs to be the two people being in love and continue to grow. It's beautiful if you have a company together. Maybe you have a company together and the company keeps thriving and it keeps growing and it's so beautiful. And then, but the people in it, the two people supposed to be in love, they just don't develop, they just don't evolve anymore. And then it's so tough to let go because the business is going so great, but the relationship sucks. And usually then what happens is like you're getting a little bit of a nudge. There's just a little bit of okay, we're gonna send in this little trigger that whatever that is, whether that is on your part, you've done something, or whether that is on their part, to sort of not blame yourself or not blame them for the trigger that was needed in order for the both of you to have the guts to move on. The trigger is just a trigger, but you knew somewhere that it was not gonna last. You were already like out of there. This makes more sense now. You're holding a love heart. We have the symbol here, but the heart in the center of it is missing. We have the idea, we have the daydream of the love, we have the want of the love, but it's not there anymore. We have a picture of it in our mind. We have the idea, but it doesn't do anything for you anymore. So that has shifted. We had the tower moment there, it shifted. So I feel like this is a relationship. If it is a business of some sort, it was probably something that came to a rather abrupt halt, but you felt over time that you were not supposed to be in that company anymore. And this 10, it's just a completion. It's a completion. We wrapped it up. Everything you needed to learn about yourself and in the situation. And probably things are going to sort of linger. They're probably going to sort of stay with you a bit like into the future, and you're going to learn and understand, and more stuff is going to come to the surface that you go, oh my God, that's something I learned as well. Like that's something that I learned as well with this relationship or company. But we have a wrapping up situation here. Wrap it up and move on. On the bottom, it says the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off of your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. Move on. Then 4 of autumn. 4 is all about the heart, and it's all about laying a new foundation. Let's see what I can pick up from this card today. There's something about wood. What would you do? No, I'm kidding. W-O-O-D, wood. The tree, wood. A wooden... What is that? There's something... This really stands out to me. There's something with wood that's coming through very clearly. You reached a you know how you can celebrate paper, this like first year's paper, or is it cotton? I think it's like first year of marriage is like cotton, and then the second anniversary is like paper, and then third it might be wood. Maybe you reached like the wood of it. I don't know. There's something with wood. Maybe somebody understands that. On the bottom, manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend or save money, and save money. Help out those who are less fortunate. And with that, I just feel like it's a time after this breakup or after the separation for you that is more like, how do you now spend your energy? Like, look at Sagittarius, so much about helping others, so much about being a good friend, being a good coworker, being a good boss, being a good child to your parents, being a good parent. Like, you're so much about like the structure of it all and just keeping up. You're awesome in that sense, but to not forget yourself. It's very important now that you look at what you send out, and also about what you receive back, what you're allowing back into your life, to not put yourself last. What do you receive back? And I just want to say, if there's a situation where somebody knows you're dreaming about love, you're dreaming about a shift in this relationship, and you haven't dealt with the Tower yet, it's almost like I don't want to scare anybody. I do not want to scare anybody, because I always ask for the most uplifting and inspirational message that I can find. But this is like, you know, you have that inner voice for such a long time, like, I'm not supposed to stay here. This is over and done with. And you just try to force it, and you try to force it, and you try to force it. And your inner guidance is just trying to guide you somewhere else. Or you're not supposed to be at this job, or you're not supposed to spend more time with these friends, or you're not supposed to continue with this. I mean, we had codependency here, but it's like, continue. If there's somebody else drinking and you're drinking just because somebody else is drinking, and your body just keeps telling you, don't stop doing this, it's not good for your body. Just because everybody else is doing it, you don't have to continue to do this. You might be in the midst of this, and there might be a little Tower moment that is happening right around now, because we're moving into the most like shifting energy that has taken place, like from the 21st of December, the great conjunction that everybody's talking about. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are talking about it, like the great shift and moving into the age of Aquarius, where everybody is going to get the sense of freedom. And if you sort of haven't gotten the sense of freedom in your life, you're going to start to cut out stuff that doesn't fit you anymore. And so if you're because we have decisions here, so I'm being brought back here that some of you guys, this is not going to be for all, but some of you guys, you might actually be in a relationship and you're asking for the love, and you're asking for the love, and it's just not there. It's empty. It doesn't come back. And it's a completion. We have moved on. We have closed this circuit, this circle, this cycle has ended. It's a completion here. You took with you, you got all the information, and you gave all the information you were supposed to in this relationship, and we're moving on. And if you're still fighting for it, you're still holding on, like, look at this. We have the sensuality card. You have a cup full of love. It's overflowing here. You have so much to give, but it's not being received. Where you're at, it's not being received. And so you're fighting for it, and you're fighting for it. And yeah, this is definitely the romantic life. Like we have 3 green borders, which speaks about the healing. It speaks about the wholeness of your heart. When it's the pink heart that comes out, it's more like the romantic love. The love for yourself and the romantic love. And you want to feel it again. This is like an indication that if you have that little voice inside of you saying, it's time to move on. It's like, you're not supposed to be here anymore. It's time to move on. To really pay attention and start to walk out that door. Start to walk towards the separation. Or start to walk towards the end of the difficulty. Because the more you shift your inner heart, the more you shift and you really, really are starting to come into balance. And maybe there's like a major thing that needs to drop off of the relationship. Like I picked up at the beginning here, that it might be a little separation going on between you and another person. Like we don't come together right now. There's a little hiccup. There's a little, like, there's a conflict there. We're together. We've been together for a long time maybe. But for right now, there's a little separation going on. We don't meet. We don't connect. That very thing that have you not connect, if you find balance within that, you can really clarify a lot of things and actually come together again. But your inner voice, your little inner voice, your major inner voice will tell you that. And you need to listen. Listen, people. Something with wood, something about like looking at each other, being of the same color here. But one is a little bit more colorful and the other one has started to lose their color. So there's either it's you or is your person that has started to lose themselves a tiny bit in this relationship. There's one of you that sort of doesn't come, they don't come to they're not fully themselves anymore. If you're single, completely different message. If you're single, it's like, I feel like this is you, Sagittarius, and you're just looking for your person. You're looking for the person to come in. And the person I feel that is lifting the veil is starting to come in. They're not fully there yet. They're not in full color. They're not in full bloom. So maybe this is about, you've started to dream about them. Maybe there is a little bit of an interaction there. Maybe there's been like and in this pandemic, maybe you haven't been able to see each other. There's a lot of maybes here because it's so broad. So what is clear is that there is a connection that has taken place, whether that is through the dreams, whether that is through social media. I just feel like you fully haven't like connected. So maybe you haven't seen each other in real life yet. They are coming in, but they're not as colorful yet as you would want them to be. So it's not, we don't see them in full color yet, but it's a heart matter and we're laying a new foundation here. So keep on moving in that connection if it feels good to do so. And then we have this again. So we're going to clarify the share the love. Clarify the share the love. 6 of Autumn. And 6 is all about the connection with yourself. So when you completely connect with yourself, your inner being, your higher self, that is when you start to feel the love. It's like going inwards and connect with yourself so that you can flow the love outwards. I love the little magical things in this card. It's like little ornaments and fairies coming with wishes, more energy, more money. There's a house being built. There's a wood again, like the wooden tree, a tree house. Building, I don't know what that's called in English, koja. Like when you build like a little fort with blankets and pillows and chairs, perhaps. It's all about the childlike behavior and very fun. On the bottom it says, the good you do comes back to you. An unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely, or repaying a debt. So much about the energy here. Whatever you flow out is going to start to flow back in. And the connection that you have now with yourself, with your inner being, is going to allow for you to start to have so much good being received back into your life. So yeah, share the love, send it out to the world, send it out to this very particular person in your life, or this person that you dream of having in your life. But be very, very mindful of receiving it back. You have the equal right to receive, to not overgive or not overspend your energy. And you will feel when that balance is there. And it might just be that one person or one situation, it just needs to be addressed. You just need to point it out. Like, I feel like I'm giving a little bit more than what I'm getting back here. That might just be one sentence that needs to be spoken, and the receiver on the other end goes, oh my God, you're so right. to not be afraid to speak up. I'm going to give you some final advice here, and then we're going to move into the extended reading. Final advice that just really jumped out there. And there we have it. It's unbelievable. It's amazing how the cards are working together. So do you remember that I said I got this card and we had this little situation here, but it was a love heart in between it. And here we had this little thing, but the love was missing. And then we're ending with this picture. So it's like, it looks like two hands right here surrounding this love heart. And here it is again. So this card is just coming out to say, do you know what? This, don't mind whether it's a number. That's not it at all why this is coming. And it's a good thing I told you about it, because you wouldn't have believed me. It's so beautiful now how this is coming. So the grid is filling in, as Abraham would say, or the love is filling in. The love is not going to be missing for so much longer. It's not about win or lose. It's not about the number 5. It's about the love heart that fills in. You're dreaming about this love. The veil has been lifted. Or you dream about this connection with your already committed partner. And the love is gonna fill in. Oh, so beautiful. If you feel like this is your story, welcome to the extended reading. I'm gonna continue on with the extended based on this energy here. So if you feel drawn to that, the link is in the description box down below. If not, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Happy New Year. I'm going to see you on the other side of this year. Take care, guys.